Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A couple of weeks ago, I announced the launch of my new company, Ink Outside the Box, and we released our first ever product, an academic planner. And you guys were so supportive and lovely, it meant the world to me, and somehow we sold out our entire stock for the whole summer in 2 hours, which is just silly. So the day after this video goes live, so tomorrow, we are restocking the planners. So at 5 PM on Monday the 19th of August, you can get yourself one. But with today's video, I basically wanted to show you how you can maximize value of the planner and give you a further insight into what the inside actually looks like. So take it away, me. So here we have the jack-ademic planner in all its glory. We went for a very vibrant and bold color scheme for the cover, just because I wanted it to be super eye-catching, and I think it is. So when you open the front page, you have this. Of course, there's a pun in there. And basically, my intention is to cut this page out once I'm done with the planner and stick this page on my wall. I thought it was kind of like a cool little poster as well. As you turn the page onto the inside of the planner, we have this page here, which is basically for filling in your personal details, so that if you are prone to losing things, like I might be, then you can fill that in and hopefully your planner will be returned to you if you lose it. Obviously, I will eventually fill in my email address, my phone number, and my home address, but right now, because I'm filming this video, you don't really need to know that, so it just has my name. Here we have a contents page, just so it's super easy to find everything, and I love the design of this. Turning over the page from there, we have an introduction from me. This is just kind of a personal message that I wanted to write. And then on this page, we have a guide as to how to use the planner, which is essentially what this video is. So moving on from that, we have key holiday dates. So these are like the traditionally celebrated holiday dates. And then on here, I wanted to put some alternative ones, which I thought would be kind of like conversation starters, let's say. For example, we have Wear Brown Shoes Day, Talk Like a Pirate Day, Eat ice cream for breakfast day. I'm very much looking forward to this one. And then on the next page, we have a birthdays page. Down here, it says birthdays to remember. Let's stop relying on social media to remind us, which I guess you could say is quite hypocritical of a YouTuber to say. Anyways, basically you can fill in the name and the dates of all of the birthdays that you want to remember. So as an example, I'm going to put my own one in because I am a narcissist. After that, there is a page for filling in the term dates that you have. So I am going to fill in my first 2 terms on here, which I helpfully have in front of me. The next page is for important deadlines. So you have a section for assignments and a section for exams. Obviously, I don't have any of those right now, so I'm just going to skip ahead. Again, this one is keep track of grades, which will become very useful later down the line, but like, not right now. Academic stuff and contact info. This is just really useful to flick back to when you need to know where someone's office is, what their office hours are, especially at university, where you could be like all over a city. Right now, I don't actually know my academic stuff for the next academic year, so I'm going to leave this for now, but I'm excited to fill it in later down the line. On this page here, we have some useful contacts and websites. Now, it was really important to me to have some mental health resources to make sure that you're okay, because none of this matters if you're not okay. But following on from that, we do also have some apps for getting work done and a little brief explanation of what they do. And then down here we have some places to find student discount because we are living la vida broker. This is a page for extracurricular stuff because that is just as important. So I am going to fill in one of mine. Okay, so moving on from that. Next up, we have a page for filling in book recommendations. So like if you're sitting in a lecture and the lecturer is like, hey, you should read this book, or in a lesson, and your teacher suggests a book that you could read that would be helpful, you can just quickly jot it down on this page. This page here just leads into the main planner and a yearly spread. I find this useful just for really quickly checking a date. So if you're like, how many days are there in May? You can quickly check, or you can see what day your birthday is on or something like that. Then we go into more detailed plans. So first up, for each individual month, and by the way, this page here is like thicker so that when you flick through, it naturally falls onto these pages, so they're easier to find. After each of these, you basically have a monthly spread. So this shows you every single day in the month at a quick overview. Now, as you can see, I've already filled in mine for August of this year, and I've color coded that using highlighters. So basically the pink lines here means when I was in China. The blue bit was somewhere in the city, the YouTube convention, and then the purple is when I'm going to Scotland, basically so that I can see what times I have completely blocked out. And then I'll write in other major things that are kind of like trips or days out. So for example, staying at my friend Ed's in London, going to a factory to see these being made in Birmingham, which was the coolest experience. I'll insert some clips now so you can see the process of these planners being made. How freaking cool is that? And then I'll skip to this week. So you can see I've already been filling in this week of my planner. So it's all color coded and filled in. I will do a new one from scratch to show you exactly how I do this. I also can't tell you how excited I was to fill this in and like actually use the planner finally, because obviously I've been planning this for literally like 9 months, I think. So yeah, I could not wait to start filling this in, and this feels just very exciting to me. I was nerding out the whole time I was using it. For now, I'm going to flick to a completely random week in August 2020, which is when the planner ends, and hopefully, maybe possibly potentially, we might have a new beautiful planner at that point. So I'm going to use this week as a demonstration of how to use the planner and fill it in as if it was just like a normal week in my life. Okay, so I will start with this bit up here. And so these 3 lines at the top are basically for putting in your main goals for the week. I hate when planners like tell me what to do, and I really didn't want to say like goals for the week, in case that's not what you want to use it for. You might use this bit to put in the reading that you need to do that week, or maybe like what you're planning to cook each night. And I always find it frustrating when planners give you a box that says like, tell us what you're happy about this week. And I just, like, I don't want to fill that in. I want to use the space for what I want to use it for. And that is why it's deliberately left blank. So I'm going to just fill that in quickly with my, say, deadlines for the week. Okay, so those are kind of my goals for the week, and I always leave a little box to tick them off as I go. And so those aren't necessarily things I need to do on just one particular day, but something that I want to get completed over the whole week. For smaller tasks, I put them in the to-do section. So for example, I might say, on this day, I need to tidy my room and do laundry. And when they're done, I will just tick them off like that. Now personally, I keep the to-do section clear each day and then fill it in at the beginning of the day, because a to-do list like this is very specific to that particular day, and you want to be able to say you've ticked it off. Things I would pre-plan would be firstly lectures. So I'd firstly start out by filling in all my lectures for the week. So as you can see, I have put in the time, which is 11 to 12. The lecture, on this example, it is a Victorian lecture, followed by a modernism lecture. So I've just put that in there. And each week last year, I would have had 5 lectures. Then I will take a color. I usually use blue for lectures and highlight all of those. And basically that's just making them super clear. So when I look at this for a brief overview, I can immediately see where the lectures are. So it's basically all about saving yourself time in the long run. Next up, I'm going to put in my tutorials and seminars. And so I'm just highlighting them in a different color, so again, they're super easy to see. And I realized here that I just put academic advisor meeting, but I put AA meeting to shorten it. That does not mean Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm not trying to tell you something. I meant academic advisor, I swear. Okay, next up, I'm going to put in my extracurricular stuff and highlight that in a different color. And I usually leave 1 line's gap between academic commitments and other commitments. Next up, I would put in other things that are like personal to you. So for example, for me, I make YouTube videos. So one of the things I would put in here would be making YouTube videos. And then of course, social stuff goes in and just other things as well. Like for example, if you have a doctor's appointment, write that in. Okay, and then you can kind of see how your like weekly plan builds up. An extra feature that we do have is down here, there are 14 cups to represent the 14 liters of water that you should drink per week, so 2 liters per day. I just get a pen, and as I go through and drink the water, then I just fill these in like so, which feels quite satisfying. It feels like you get to tick off the water that you've had that week. Slowly then over the week, I will tick things off that I get done. Now, some extra things that you could do. If I have a deadline on a specific day, then I will write in red pen on the day that it's due, right at the bottom, so that it's super clear where it is. And I've just added a tick box there so that if I do it in advance on like this day, for example, I can tick it off like so. I kind of missed the box there, but you get what I mean. Also, I deliberately left big spaces up here above each individual day. So if you wanted to like meal plan or anything like that, you could write it in. So say, I could say like here on this night, I'm going to a restaurant called Spags. If you go to university in Durham like me, you know what I'm saying. That's not like a weird innuendo, they just do like really, really good Italian food. And then on the other days, you could say, on this night, I'm going to cook a spag bowl. And there you have it. That is what a kind of weekly plan looks like in this planner. And then later in the planner, we have like a notes page. So if you just need to like quickly jot something down, you can. Then we have this finance tracker. So I just wanted to explain how this works as well. Basically, say I go to a restaurant and I spend £31 on dinner. Then I would put minus in this box here, £35. I know I said 31, but we're gonna pretend I said 35 because I wrote the wrong thing. So minus £35 spent on Spags dinner. I swear Spags is a restaurant, it's not like drugs. And so then my total obviously would be minus 35. But then say the reason that I had to pay 35 instead of £31 is because one of my friends was £4 short, so I paid for them. So then the next day you could have plus £4 when Will pays back. And so then you would be on minus 31. As we were supposed to be originally. And this is a good way of just keeping track of how much you're spending, what you're spending it on. You could do this specifically for like shopping or like food or anything like that. Maybe not every single little thing, but yeah, I just wanted to give you somewhere to put that too. Alternatively, if we are talking about owing money, then we have these pages here. One says I owe you, one says you owe me. So I could say like, Will owes me £4, and then when he's paid it, I could tick it. I just think it's really worth keeping track of that kind of thing. Here we have a reference log, so as you're writing essays, you can quickly like jot down your resources so that you don't forget them and you don't plagiarize. Then we also have room at the back to fill in your timetable. I left like 3 weeks worth, so in case you have a timetable that changes quite frequently. And that is the Jack-ademic planner. So I hope this video was kind of helpful and showed you how you can use the planner to its full capacity. We restock at 5 PM on Monday the 19th of August with a very, very limited stock. Last time we sold out our whole stock in 2 hours, so be there or be square. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys use this.